All right, so today what we want to talk about a little bit is where we strike the ball on the driver face and how it affects our ball flight. And so we have one tool with us here, which is Dr. Scholl's Odorex spray powder. And this is what we're going to use to spray on the face so we can see where we're marking the ball on the club face. As you could tell, I already hit one there, and I was pretty close to the center, which is good. And so what happens here is if we strike a ball a little towards the heel, there's a thing called gear effect. And what will happen is gear effect will bring the ball and produce spin, and when it's struck on the heel, will make it spin to the right or start to the right. And if you strike toe, it will produce some hook spin, or at least start the ball a little left. And so when you're hitting a lot of hooks or hitting some pushes and fades, you got to understand where you're striking it on the club face to understand if it's a swing problem or is it because you're not hitting it in the center of the club. And so this is the one best way to do it, is spray the powder on your club face and check and see exactly where you're striking the ball. And then you'll know, hey, do I have to fix my swing, or do I just need to know where I'm striking it on the face and work on that. And this is a great drill to spray the powder on your driver when you're hitting drivers and practicing, and then look at where you're striking it and try to hit it in the center, and then play around, try to hit one on the toe and try to hit one on the heel. So now I just want to show a little quick slide on the gear effect, and you can tell, and that'll help explain a little bit of what we're talking about, what causes certain ball flights by where you strike it on the club face. Now that was horizontal gear effect, or just the gear effect from across the face, but there's also a gear effect on whether you hit it high on the face or low on the face. So anytime we hit the ball above the center of gravity, which in these stylish drivers would be a little above center here, what will happen is we will launch the ball higher and it will be hit with less spin. And the reverse is true if we hit it below the center of gravity or a little below the center of the face here. It will cause higher backspin and it will launch it lower. So again, your launch is looking at your launch and making sure you have the correct loft on a driver. It's important to know where on the face you're hitting it. Okay, so in terms of how far offline a ball will go based on how far you miss the center of the club face. So these are all for heel shots. So if we're one dimple away towards the heel from the center for a 250-yard drive, missing it one dimple off toward the heel will cause it to go 10 yards to the right. Whereas if you miss it a half inch towards the heel on a 250-yard drive, it will cause the ball to go 35 yards to the right, or be 35 yards offline. And when we hit it more towards the toe, the same relationships exist. Just how much the launch angle will change based on the vertical gear effect, it shows up in this slide here.